Wrong one. Try whatever. Where's it at? Oh, error occurred uploading. That's why it wasn't the latest one. See, that's why we can edit. Right there, Kendall. Messing up. I clicked where it should have been. I didn't know there was an error uploading. Kendall's moves were too much for it, Daniel. Too much.
It's all good.
There you go. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
We ain't taking no L's. No. Saints breaking out of seals. Go. The battle's been won. He said it's done. So we ain't taking no L's. We ain't taking no L's. Hey, we seeing W's all in the chat. It's like a home run straight off of the bat. Lion of Judah, the cat out the bag. I can't dilute it. I'm bringing the facts like I.
Man,
What
Daniel,
up?
I got to cut you. I'm so disappointed. That video cut the best Leo I've ever seen, man. I am disappointed in myself as a producer. But go ahead, do your intro. I had to do that.
You know, it's only person you can blame is the producer himself. He made the video, he clipped it,
My
but
lighting's messed up. I messed up the video. It's a good thing we have an elite, high caliber guest that's going to carry all my mistakes.
That's right. You know, obviously the intro song talking about taking no L's. We're not taking no L's tonight. It's the In Off the Bench podcast. I'm Daniel Ball. He's Jim Cross. And tonight, Jim, we got Kendall Torrens, one of the top recruits in the country. But I mean, I say recruits, but really, she's already committed. It's done. It's inked. It's ready. Oklahoma is signing another good one. So we're going to get Kendall's story. But before she joins us, obviously, we got to plug the best sponsors in the game. Chinook Seeds, whether you're on the field or in the boardroom signing deals, Chinook helps you get the job done. 8 flavors, mild to wild. Go to your local gas station, convenience store, grocery store. Go to the Snack Aisle. Pick up the best seeds in the game. As a matter of fact, if you go to Chinook's website, you know, you got to type in promo code Faith T. All right, Faith Torres, help her out, get her some cash in her pocket, and by the way, get the best seeds. I mean, 2 birds, 1 stone. Like you can't think of
who
a better
doesn't
option.
want to support Faith Torres? I mean,
Let's go. And then Jesus One Apparel, empowering men, women, and children to take a bold step in their faith by following and living the message of John 16:33. Jesus One got the shirt. Boom, boom, boom. Got colors. Lots of color waves. I know, man. What's up?
I wear Jesus One all day, every day. I figured I'd mix it up on the podcast.
It's all good. I knew you were gonna go alternate. You know, SEC. You know, baseball tomorrow.
I do have an Oklahoma Jesus One, but I gave it to an Oklahoma fan who wanted it. Literally, shirt off my back, Jesus style. So here we are.
Look at you. Well, enough of us rambling. Appreciate our sponsors, but we got to get to it. Help me welcome on Kendall Torrens. Kendall,
hello.
What up? How we doing?
Doing pretty good.
That is awesome. Obviously, we're all blessed, and we're glad that you had some time. Obviously, I don't know. You know, does the end of school, traditional schooling, does that make it easier and time open up, or does that mean you shift gears into something else?
I would say it would be easier for sure. I mean, it gets done at the same time as season, so school and gymnastics, I love how it gets done at the same time. So it feels especially like it's summer. So like I'm very excited to go to summer and get to new things and everything.
Yeah. So, we're going to get into those new things. I'm curious to know, like, with school and gym being done, like what does that open up for you to do? But obviously, we got to break it down first. Let's talk about home. Where's home for you?
I live in Dallas, Texas. I go to Embry Gymnastics.
Here we go.
No. He's
Big
gonna ask the worst question in the world now.
The biggest question that I have is, who do you root for in football?
Oh no. Okay.
And if you don't watch football, just pick a team.
Okay.
Probably your hometown team would be the team I would pick.
Yeah.
That's who he. That's
I
who he
mean,
roots for. That's why he went right there. Like he wants to know that you're a Cowboys fan, so y'all can be friends. That's what's going on here.
I mean, it's been sad. We've had a few people from the Dallas area, Fort Worth, and for whatever reason, they're no longer like Cowboy fans. Just don't exist in the triplex
Kaya
area.
and KJ Johnson, way back when from LSU, were both Dallas fans. Daniel, so calm down. It's been a while, but they were there.
Well, I didn't want to bring up LSU on
But let's
on our
talk about the fact that she's from Dallas. Just another gymnast from like seriously, Kendall. The amount of gymnasts y'all got coming out of there,
I
like
know.
there's something different in the water there, Daniel.
It's crazy.
What do y'all do? Like, do y'all just
They don't go to preschool; they go to gym class, bro.
that or like I feel like the moms are doing like gymnastics pregnant, and it's like doing like just like whatever, and that the babies come out ready to do back handsprings and stuff.
It seems like it, right? It's crazy.
Let me ask you this question that we've talked about with all the gymnasts from Texas. Texas and Texas A&M do not have a gymnastics program. Most of the gymnasts have said that would maybe probably change their whole recruiting process. For you being a Texas girl, would it have opened up some things? Like, do you love Texas so much that the Texas schools would have been a big consideration?
I do love Texas, but I don't think it would have, because I would like to. I even going to OU, and since I went to OU and Utah, I didn't think I wanted to be closer to home. But once I went, I'm like, oh, like both of the schools were amazing, but Utah, sorry, not Utah, OU, when I went to OU, I just thought about like having my family and my friends come watch me more likely at Oklahoma than Utah. It's awesome to have them be able to watch me in person. So I mean, it would have maybe, but I think my final result probably would have been OU no matter what.
I'll tell you, as dads who travel for our kids, your parents will really appreciate that. I think about this year, Daniel. I met Bill Cesario, Ella Cesario's dad. They're from Pittsburgh. She competes for Cal, so having to make West Coast trips all the time. It's got to get, I didn't ask him this, but it's got to get pretty expensive after a while. So I'm sure the parents like you keeping it in driving distance as opposed to flying distance.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. They love it a lot better.
I'll say this, all right. When you're talking about, well, where do I go? I don't know where I'm going to go. It's either Utah or Oklahoma, but I'm pretty sure if I had to guess, this helps you decide real quick. Real quick.
I mean,
like,
but it's not like Utah doesn't win championships.
But yeah.
I mean, they do, but if you look at the past 6 years, I know where they've been. So
yeah.
But no, with that, obviously a lot of opportunity. It just speaks to the hard work that you put in, the level athlete that you are, being able to have those two as your options, two of the best teams in the country, and obviously one that just won a national championship. But with that, talk to me a little bit about family. You mentioned like very supportive family, going to travel wherever they need to. Obviously, Oklahoma is a lot closer than Utah, and they're more likely to go there. But, with your family, you got mom, dad, brothers, or sisters?
Yes. So I live with my mom, and in total, I have 4 siblings, including me. One older brother, one older sister, and then a younger brother too.
So are they in the college route? Are they athletes? Is it something you tried to model yourself after?
So yeah, my older brother has his own business, and then my older sister she is going into college. She just started, like, I think college online, and then she's going to Atlantic, Florida, I'm pretty sure. And then my younger brother, he's going into high school.
Nice. I mean, so nice little gamut of experience, from professional side all the way down to just entering college, and then even younger than that. But Um, growing up, obviously in a hotbed for gymnastics. I mean, Texas itself is. I mean, you could not leave the state of Texas, and you could compete against some of the best and get really, really good and be elite. But with you, I'm sure you do a lot of traveling. I'm sure a lot of different events come up for you along the way. But who's your influence growing up through gymnastics?
Oh, so growing up, I went since OU was so close, like 3 hours. I went to OU meets and I loved watching Maggie Nichols.
Mm.
She was an inspiration for sure. She was amazing. Yeah. And then I mean, I also liked Anastasia Webb. Them two were my yeah, they were my role models for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with any of the SEC gymnasts, but obviously Big 12 with Oklahoma now. But for me, when I came in, probably around the same time you started watching, because I have not been a lifelong gymnastics fan like Daniel. For me, there's a lot of he was big on Luisa Blanco, getting me into
Yeah.
her. Craziest thing for me, I'm not a big Florida gymnastics person, but I loved Trinity Thomas. And
Yes.
watching her for the last amount of years. And then obviously we had Kaya Johnson on this show as a freshman.
Hmm.
And so we got to watch her whole career. So I know what it's like watching a lot of the same gymnasts as you, because I've only been watching, 6-7 years now. Whereas, Daniel's been watching a lot longer. So I know a lot of the gymnasts that you were probably watching and wanting to be like. So it's pretty cool. I can relate to you on that note. But as you're watching gymnasts coming up, you're also competing on your own, already at a high level at a young age, many great opportunities, different gymnastics you can do. Who are you competing for as you're coming up?
Oh, I mean, it's been for sure a long journey. I mean, throughout this whole year, I've had some sort of pain, injury, went through so many things, especially on floor. But I think truly, I mean, for myself, because I think I've gone through so many hurdles, I would say, and sometimes I even like didn't believe in myself, and I truly have learned to believe in myself and what I can do and who I am. And I think competing for myself has been uh, my goal throughout this whole season.
And
So,
which gym are you competing out of?
Empire Gymnastics,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Um,
and where is that in relation to because I know a lot of them came from Dallas Dreams, or is that somebody, or is that a club that's like right down the street, or is Dallas so big it's on the other side of town type deal?
Dallas is big, but I would say, ooh, I live so compared to like where Empire is, um, I'm pretty close to it. About I think I say I'm from Dallas, but like I'm right outside of Dallas. So since it's so big, and then I'm like 10-15 minutes away from Empire.
I got you. All right, so you're at Empire, you're training. At what age do you become a level 10?
Oh, that was I've been when I was 13. Yeah.
Very, very early age, Daniel, just like the rest of them. And the reason I asked that question is because, we go back to that first episode, and Kaya told me, Daniel, I said, how do you know when a gymnast is good enough for college? And she said, once they've reached level 10,
Yeah.
then you know. And so I like asking that question. So basically, at 13 years old, it tells me, that college is something that's in your future. Is that like correct on what she said?
Yes, definitely, for sure.
All
Yeah.
right, and so you're competing in all these events. My next one, I got to know. We've heard some stories, Daniel, about some great destinations y'all have traveled. What's your favorite place that you've gone to and got to travel to compete for gymnastics? At an early age.
Um, we got to go to Florida. How long? Maybe 2 years ago, we got to go to Florida. We got to go to the beach, and it was very pretty. But then also, we recently, I think no, this season, we got to go to Washington,
Nice.
and
Two
I
different
love
kinds
that.
of beaches we got, but I've heard Washington is absolutely beautiful. Is that
It
true?
was.
Daniel, so
was.
she's been farther to the West Coast. I mean, I've been to Cali, you've been to Cali, but she's been up to the Northwest. We haven't, and then she's been down to Florida in your country. I mean, at a young age, that's one of those cool perks of training hard every single day.
Yeah.
When you're good at stuff, like doors just swing open.
Well,
Like,
I told you my daughter was
two-step.
good at the wrong sport. My daughter was good at soccer, which we stayed all around the South. Like we'd go up to Missouri and we'd go down to Alabama, Daniel, but wasn't no Florida, wasn't no Washington, no Cali, nothing like that. But
Yeah.
we've heard about some that have even went to Italy and some of these things, which is just crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But what is your favorite event that you have competed in, whether won or lost, just your favorite thing that you get excited for when it comes up?
Okay, so competing wise, I think floor. I love competing floor. I think I can show who I am through dance for sure. So I think it's floor for sure, but I also love bars. So
At least she
those two
didn't
are
say
always
she
tied.
loves beam, Daniel, because you know how I feel. They're got to be crazy, if they love beam.
Yeah.
Different mindset.
What I
Yeah.
love that I've learned watching your floor rotation, Daniel, she on that pass that she does, and she does that the way she steps out. I forgot the name of the move, but that's something that I've seen OU gymnasts do that they've even said when listening to a lot of girls don't do because they don't have the capability. You know what I'm talking about, Daniel? Do you know the name of it?
I mean, if you were to ask me off air, I'd be able to tell it to you now
So
that
what
I'm
is
on
that?
the
What is
spot.
that called when you come on that first pass and you're landing? You intentionally do that extra step out
The
thing.
step out. Yeah, I'm doing a front lay step out out of a 1.5.
Yeah, and so I believe I feel like it's Lily Peterson who does that same thing with in her front of her floor routine, and that's where they talking about how hard it is for a freshman. So it's really cool to see the caliber of moves. Obviously, seeing you do the standing front on the beam, that's a Haley Bryant signature move, and you hit it just as good. So I clearly see the talent on all these. Obviously, the bars too. So all that being said, we talked about level 10. We talked about competing all over the country. You're knocking out these events. Why, you say OU, it's just a few hours away, but is it the coaching staff? Is it the level of the gymnasts? Is there that one thing that made OU that much better than Utah?
So why I picked OU is, I mean, always the coaching staff. They are actually incredible. They don't they're amazing coaches, but not just that. They are amazing at, like, they truly love you. Like, they treat you as your family, and it's
Mhm.
I when I was watching practice, I truly love that. Like they're role models too. So it's really amazing to see how they interact with the team, and it's not just them being coaches with gymnasts. It's truly
Yeah.
them being one with the team, and it's amazing to see. So
And
that,
if
and
you
then
watch the meets, you see them all working. I feel like, Daniel, the TV announcers, for as great as they do a real disservice only talking about KJ a lot. I feel like that's because, with LSU, for instance, right? We know Ashley Nat and how much she works. And even this year, having, former gymnasts step in, and I feel like with Oklahoma, they only talk about KJ, which she is the best coach. Like, it's not even close. But I feel like they're not talking about them assistants enough. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Daniel knows. We get to see them.
You're only as good as a coach. You're only as good as two things: the players that you can get and the coaches that you can get to help implement what you're looking to do. Because when it comes to a day-to-day process, you're going to have probably more interaction with assistant coaches than you do on a day-to-day basis with the head coach. And part of that's by design, but part of it is just like that's just time. Like,
You know what else they have, Daniel? Their training staff. I have never seen in all the years, all the sports we've done. These girls are getting taped in and out for each event. Like, right, they're getting, and you got to be fast on it. Obviously, you got to make sure it's done right because they got to feel right in their feet and their ankles, knees, whatever the case is. Man, the OU like they better got a ring too, Daniel. I'm just saying.
oh, I'm sure they did. It's you know, it's you have to believe it. You know what you said, Kendall, about the coaching and the staff and just everybody in the program as far as from a support system. It's like a family. They
Yeah.
care about you, not just as a gymnast. They do care about that, but they care about you as a person. How are you doing? How's your family doing? And every Oklahoma gymnast that we've had come on has said the same thing, very, very better and more eloquently and more elaborately than I could. But really, the crux of what everybody has said is like, it is a family.
And you know what's cool talking about that family, Kendall. When you come in, you know, obviously you're going to miss this group of seniors, this amazing group of seniors. But I think about these freshmen now, and just I mean they're already awesome right now. Just how good they'll be, and they'll be that upper class when you come in, and so you have an opportunity to be just like these freshmen were this year, make an immediate impact when you come in and have a group of upperclassmen. Like me and Daniel talked about, like Oklahoma every single year should be the favorite. Y'all are so stacked with who's coming back, who's coming in. We've obviously had, you know, Ella and Kinsey come on who are coming in next year, you know, with you. And then I've seen the picture. There was like 6 of y'all that had committed. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just how excited are you about when you get there, knowing how much talent is around you in that family?
You know, I am beyond excited. It's crazy to see like so many like girls from different places come together, and like the talent each girl has is insane. And I believe, and I'm excited to get to know them even more. And we've hung out a little bit, but I'm excited to get to see and practice with them. And just it's unbelievable how much talent each person has. So I'm excited to see
Yeah,
each
and I
girl
mean,
and
it's not
everything.
just the gymnastics part, right? I already saw the picture of you at the football game, getting to talk to all the freshmen this year as we were having them on. You know, Daniel will tell you, not just football, but you know, basketball, baseball,
Yeah.
softball, like the works. Like, you know, that's another part that's exciting when you go to OU. It is a school that is good at all the different sports and has, you know, elite atmospheres. And so, you know, that's another thing. Like, how excited are you, you know, not only just to compete with those girls, but to get to do all those things that, you know, you've seen, you know, Danielle Severs and Jordan Bowers and them post over the last 4 or 5 years.
You know, it will be insane. Like, uh, I mean, since you know, Texas is such a big gymnastics state. Like, so many girls come from Texas to regionals, and it's crazy. But I think being able to go to Oklahoma and see so much potential in each person, not just in gymnastics, like you said, but like even in every other sport, I think I'm so excited to see and watch because, I mean, I haven't seen too much of anything, I mean, besides
You got to go
gymnastics
check
because
out the
it's my life.
softball. Softball and gymnastics are king at Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and nobody's better at either.
Yeah, which like excited to see that even. So yeah, just it's awesome.
Well, last one I got for you was a two-part question. First, were you in Fort Worth?
Yes, I was.
Did you see me by chance? Because I saw all your friends, but I hadn't met you yet.
I
Um,
didn't see you. No, I
Oh man, I
didn't.
was wearing the Oklahoma Jesus One shirt, but you know, I asked because the performance they put on, they came out the gate swinging. Me and Daniel were texting. You can't say anything's definitively over early in gymnastics, but it just felt like, especially starting on beam and hitting the way they did, and knowing they had bars last and they're the best bars team, it just felt almost unfair. But I'll ask you, you know, the performance, Audrey, Danielle, Jordan put on. Obviously, the rest are coming back, but specifically those three. Just how awesome was it, you know, to see, and especially, you know, Jordan, who's now cemented a legendary status, not just at Oklahoma, but in women's gymnastics. Period.
Um, it was truly amazing. Like seeing them in person and doing what they do. Truly, not more, but how they are and what they do normally. It was amazing. Just each person, you could tell was loved what they did, and you could see it by each skill and each routine that they did. um, but their skills, their technique, and from the coaches too, like they truly did amazing things, and it was amazing to see. So, and I could tell, like even in their as a person and what they were doing, they had such a growth mindset for sure, because though they've made mistakes in the past, not all of them, just everyone in general and all
Yeah,
the
they
gymnasts in general.
completely, Jordan said in the interview we had the week of that they weren't going to even think 1 second about the previous year, and it looked
Yeah.
clear. That was clear. They moved on.
Yes, exactly. And it was like from them being able to do that was actually incredible to watch. So them just going out there and being them, doing what they know to do and everything was incredible to see.
Yeah, they definitely, had as much as they said they were focused on this year, I'm sure there was a small piece of them, a small chip on their shoulder that said, we want to have some redemption from last year, and we're going to do all the little things and make sure that we're not overlooking it, because from the jump, like, it was clear, like, in my
Think about
eyes, who
this,
the best
Daniel.
team was.
Even in a Jordan Bauer standpoint, right? Not only was she one of the ones that fell on vault, but she had to hear about how Haley Bryant was the best gymnast in college all year. And while she's a very humble person and she's not worried about that title, she has to know in her mind she is, right? And so,
Yeah.
and so to go take that title back in every single way is cool.
It's for sure.
Some people will say, a crown is pretty heavy, but I got a handful of rings that says that's even heavier.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But
I mean, truth. Crazy.
truth bombs. But Kendall, we gotta, before you get out of here, we're gonna play a little game. Have you ever done blind rankings?
No.
All right, so it's very simple. All right. Do you listen to country music? We'll start there.
Yes.
Do you love country music enough to where you can spout off some artists?
You don't actually have
Yes.
to. He's just asking.
You don't have to. I'm just letting you know, if I say some artists, you'll be able to identify them.
I think so.
Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes, but here's how it's gonna go. I'm going to give you 5 artists, one at a time.
Okay.
As I give you the first artist, you slot them into a blind ranking. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you who's coming next. That's part of the game, is like you get what you get at the end. So
Got it.
Got it. Pretty simple, right?
So it can work out one of two ways. We've had some guests who have lined them up perfect, no matter what the subject is, and we had some that, how the last couple came, they really regretted lining them up they were. So you have no idea what order they're coming in from greatest to worst, or who even is in it, because there's obviously well more than 5 country artists. So you just have to hope that you get it right as they come. But no matter what, there's no really winning or losing. You're just playing the game to have fun.
Okay, yeah, got it.
And just so you know, I'm not a huge country music artist fan, and these are coming at you random. I'm just pulling them out, and they're coming at you. So, like, however they come.
He didn't mark these as his top 5, is what he's saying.
No, not at all.
Okay. I see.
So the first one you get to rank, Luke Combs. Ever heard of him?
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Where are you gonna put old Luke Combs? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
I'm gonna say 3.
3. Ooh,
Safe
okay.
play.
Okay.
Don't know what's coming yet. Play it.
That's a good one. All right. Number 2. All right, is an oldie, but a goodie from, a Dallas girl. You probably know George Strait.
Okay. I know him, but
this is your 5. So if he's not your top,
I think it will have to be 5.
Okay. I mean, there's
Just
going to be
the
some
greatest
hot
country
people
music
out there
all time at 5, but
I mean, that's the generational thing right there.
It is. Hey, that's why I can't be mad about it. If my mom saw this list, she wouldn't listen to this episode. I'm telling you.
Not at all. All right, number 3 coming out. You guy by the name of a Jelly Roll.
Oh, okay.
He's just looking like a croissant these days. He's lost a lot of weight. He's down a little bit. So,
just a little bit.
That's your best dad joke to date.
I know. I'm on fire tonight. You know what? Give me one of these.
I messed up a few times in the episode, and you decide to pounce and having some of your best. That's what you're gonna step on me while I'm down.
Hey, I do what I do. Jelly Roll. Where are you throwing old Jelly?
I do really like him. I would say 2.
Wow. Number two. That's not a bad spot. I mean, you want to talk about the past 3 years for that guy have been probably the best come up I've ever seen.
I don't know. One of those other two you got has had a significant come up over the last 3 years, so much so that they were said 1,000 times on this show when we asked people their favorite artist.
Well, here he comes. Number 4 is coming out the gate. Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Where does old Morgan Wallen go? You got 1 and you got 4 left.
I know. Okay, he's not bad. I have listened to the songs, but I don't think I would like listen to him all the time and on like a regular basis. I'm nervous for the last one, but I think he'll go to 4.
Well
Right.
played. She saved herself because I would have been very disappointed.
I can get with Morgan Wallen being 4 or 5.
But Daniel, I'd be willing to bet you're not a big country guy, but I'm willing to bet her number 1 would be your number 1.
Yeah, I think so. Just, I'll tell you why in a minute, but the last one, and I'll go ahead and slot it in for you because you only got 1 spot to put. Is your boy Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
And
So-
the reason why we love him, even though we're not big country, his national anthem was at the Super Bowl.
That's why I didn't want to
I
say
didn't
anything. I
see
didn't want to
it.
give it away, but yeah, he was dynamite. Dynamite,
Ah.
Plus, we're
national
from
anthem.
Memphis, and he's got a song with Justin Timberlake. So why can't we like him? You know what I mean?
Ah.
So
Here's the question: are you a big rom-com person?
Oh,
Okay.
Because I wanted you to play that game, but Daniel,
it's okay
is not.
if
If you're not, I don't know what to say because he on this show told me and Ella Murphy that
I
we
saw
had
that.
issues.
see,
I
I'm
saw
not
that.
wrong. I'm not wrong.
Look,
Okay,
her favorite rom-com was my favorite one, and then ironically, she looks just like her so much to the point that I said that to her mom, and she looks at her and goes, "I really think she does," and she goes, "I appreciate that because she's beautiful." So I was like, "Look at that, mom even thinks she looks like her."
Oh.
mean, I'm not saying all that. All I am saying is like rom-coms they don't scratch the surface for me. They just don't. I'm not even a big.
He's into Survivor. He watches reality TV.
I love
No,
Survivor.
I do.
Season
I
finale
like
tomorrow.
rom-coms. It just depends which one.
All right, what's your favorite show? Not rom-com. What's your go-to show?
Ooh. I really don't know if I have one. I'm such a movie and show person that
Okay.
I don't know how many I've watched.
Well, then you got to have a go-to movie. If you're having a bad day and there's a movie that you've watched 100 times, what is it?
Step Brothers all day, every day.
Wait, what
No.
would it be?
Step
No,
Brothers.
not yours. He was saying his.
I mean, if that movie's on, I'm watching it for probably the duration, if not a heavy percentage.
I'm gonna give you the best info you're ever gonna get. Daniel's gonna get it at the same time as you. He's been my best friend for 25 years. If I just want to put something on and I need something to some time, I'll watch Pitch Perfect all day, every day.
Okay, I agree. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
But the difference is you're your age and I'm my age. That's where this issue
That
lies.
is
So that's
true.
where Daniel's like, maybe you should find a movie your age, bro.
Yeah, for real. What are you watching right now? Like what is the show that you're binging right now? What's
Right now actually I am watching what's it called? Oh, Station 19, like a medical show.
okay? All right.
Yeah,
One,
it's like
one
a
of the
spin-off of
million
Grey's
medical
Anatomy.
shows out there.
Oh, it's like Grey's Anatomy. What
Yeah,
they
it's
gonna
like a
have
spin-off.
48 seasons and still
I
counting?
know. It's crazy.
Got to come back from the dead just to keep the show going.
Let me tell you something about Seattle Grace Hospital. That is the worst hospital in the world. Every bad thing known to man happens at Seattle Grace
Well,
Hospital.
they got to have a storyline, Daniel.
I'm telling clearly. I mean, they've had planes explode into that building. They've had people
Yeah.
die. They've had bombs explode. They had my boy Coach Taylor got blown up. Man, Grey's
Oh.
Anatomy.
Yeah, I'll be honest. You said you're
It's-
not a
it's
big
crazy.
movie person,
Crazy.
or excuse me, a big TV show person. What happens is my wife will start a show and she'll love it, and then be like, "Hey, you need to watch this," and she'll go back and watch like the first couple with me. And next thing you know, I've now watched like every show on Netflix. So I don't necessarily like them all, but I've seen them all. That's just kind of the way it goes in my house.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, I just watched the show Running Point on Netflix. It's good.
Good. All right, that's
Wow.
my next one. Then I'm gonna pick it and say you watch what I want because Daniel said.
You'll like it. Basketball.
There you go. We'll put a
Oh.
bow on this thing, Mr. Ball.
Well, Kendall, I appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us. Obviously, you know, you've got another season before you really get into Oklahoma gymnastics, but we're rooting for you. Wish you nothing but the best. If there's anything we can do for you along the way, make sure you reach out to us. All right.
I will. Thank you so
I
much.
got to show the people this. These
Bring it down. Bring it down.
The reflection off the light. Stop it. There we go. Man, Daniel, how awesome are they're a better version of Michigan State because the color, the green isn't the same.
Yes.
I'm
It
telling you,
looks
that's
similar though. I asked her,
pretty
"Are you
sweet.
sure you don't want to go Michigan State?"
Anything you want to plug or promote, Kendall?
Oh.
Just
I
say hi to somebody.
Kendall.Torrens.2026. That's what I'm plugging. Because you can watch her videos that I only had a couple of them. See these Leos
on Insta. No, Kendall, we appreciate it for real. Obviously have a happy, safe, successful, rest of your career. Obviously going into
in Oklahoma.
OU. When you get there, come back on. We'll talk about emotions, what it's like on the first day, first practice, and first meet and all that good stuff. But like I said, reach out to us if you need anything.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That is Kendall Torrens, everybody. If you like hearing Kendall's story or you just like hearing Average Joe's talk X's and O's, please like, share the podcast on Facebook. Head over to YouTube, click like, subscribe, notifications. That way you're first to know when new content is dropped. Jim, got a big episode tomorrow. It just keeps the train keeps rolling.
Yeah, we got to have Danae Fletcher and Kelsey Slade. And what I love, you know what? I'll bring Kendall back to hear this if she wants to hear it. What I love is the chemistry between these girls is so much that I asked Danae who she wanted to have on with her. And she knew that we had recently had Jordan and Danielle. And she's like, do you care if I bring, Kelsey, one of the freshmen, on? Absolutely. So it just shows the way they vibe. You got an upperclassman bringing a younger one. And so we get it from both points of view, Daniel. We're going to have a senior and a freshman given the championship perspective. We always have the champions back on, so they're the first ones.
Let's go.
So make sure you share that one out for Kendall. Don't just share yours and be selfish. You got to share that one out too.
Okay.
You're part of the OU gym. So you just got whatever they put out. You got to put out.
You got it. She gets to watch you sign off. You better have your most electric sign off ever because now the pressure's on.
The pressure is on, and with that, Jim, we've had a great week so far, and we got two
little stutter. You're getting nervous.
2 champions tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to that. Jim, you heading out to Hoover. Tell me a little bit. What's the schedule like for the weekend tomorrow?
So it's just got even more stacked because the rain delays today. Thought we were starting off with Tennessee in the morning, but no, actually starting off with Mississippi State and Texas A&M. We got everybody. Oklahoma defeated Kentucky today, so they'll be in that second slot against Georgia. And then we'll find out from the other games who's going. LSU late Friday night, Daniel, what they're used to at this point. But Hoover's going to be wild. We have, somewhere around like 60 guests competing on all these teams. I'm going to get the footage to you, so don't worry. Rain or shine, I got you.
Let's go. Lots of footage, lots of content coming your way. We got a Survivor champion that'll be crowned on CBS Survivor tomorrow, but also you're in off the bench. Season 2 Survivor.
Betting favorite right now, Jacob Walsh.
Oregon. Oregon's the hot, coming in hot. I mean, hey, that's where my money's at. Literally, that's where my money's at. But Jim, until tomorrow night, we'll see y'all then. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We're out.